from Anna's speech. And its audience is her husband, Andrew, mom, Darlene, and dad, George. Okay.
Okay. One of the most used lies in the world today is the simple statement, I don't judge. Judging is prime for our survival. If you're not judging, you're basically allowing yourself to be taken advantage of, or you're simply dead. There are 4 factors that we use to create our judgment. That's society, experience, education, and mood. When one of these 4 factors falls out of balance, there becomes a negative domino effect that leads to the basis of fear. Judgment is one of the main tools that our police officers use in the line of duty. Most police officers do have a healthy sense of judgment, but some of them have a very unbalanced sense of judgment, which leads to negative effects with civilians and fellow police officers. My speech today is not to bash the police, but to give a better understanding about what police brutality is, the causes, facts, and solutions to this issue. So what is police brutality? Well, according to the lawdictionary.com, it is the use of excessive and or unnecessary force of a police officer on a civilian. So how is this excessive force determined? Well, according to Law Cornell, it is determined by what a police officer believes is unnecessary force. This is a problem in the fact that a good bit of our police officers are undertrained and undereducated in most of the situations they face. Another issue that with police brutality is the Blue Code of Silence. This is basically blue backing blue, which, as I said, is another factor of police brutality. So what are the prime causes of police brutality? One, the a lack of budget. When there's a lack of budget, there's a lack of training and education that goes towards teaching our police officers on their situations on what to do. For example, if you want to become a police officer, the minimum requirement of education is a high school diploma or a GED. And then their training via police academy is just towards laws, self-defense, and emergency response. And there's a huge lack of training, educational training towards dealing with stress management and how to handle the mentally ill, which the Department of Justice actually did a report on it that the mentally ill are actually 12 times more likely to be shot by a police officer. Another cause of police brutality is there is a huge lack of mental health support within the police department. There has been a toll done by the Department of Justice that in the year of 2017, 140 police officers committed suicide, whereas 129 police officers died in the line of duty. During and after a police officer is on the job, he or she is constantly dealing with the negativities of the community. That's dealing with pissed off people, to being the first responders to tragedies, to not sure if their next call is going to be their last. And this can take a huge toll on the human being's psychological health. And if a police officer is even thinking about receiving mental health therapy, it's kind of cut short because of the cultural stigma in the police department that this job is tough and if you seek help, you're weak. This sets in a fear with police officers that they will possibly lose their job, face job restrictions, or get the cold shoulder from fellow police officers. Another issue with dealing with police brutality, one of the causes, as I said before, is the Blue Code of Silence. It is discouraged for fellow police officers to report misconduct on their fellow police officers. It basically creates a loop, a mentality loop that it's us against them, and it creates a barrier for us to get the corrupt officers, police officers, out of the system. Another issue with creating police brutality is the lack of external and indifference in the reports and complaints of the police department. So what can we do to stop this? You can research, you can join organizations, and you can vote within your local police department. There are several organizations that are out there trying to support and fund to set up external committees with dealing with police complaints. You can also vote and support police educational training and tools such as body cams, which body cams have showed a positive outturn on their use, such as, and there was a study done in California that shows that 50%, there is a 50% decrease in excessive force police officers used, and there was a 50% decrease in the police department's complaints. You can also record and report. There are several options to report to when you experience or seen police brutality. That's either to your local police department, Department of Justice, or organizations out there that track police misconduct. Cell phones are also a great tool to use. Just make sure you check with your local laws on interference. And also give them respect. Remember what they're going through, what they're facing daily, and just a simple hello and a thank you could really make their day. Make them feel a part of our community and not shunned from it. Go to neighborhood watches, go to events that introduce your local police officers, and just go out there and get to know them. In order to stop police brutality, we have to act on these solutions and give our support. A majority of our police officers do their job properly and professionally. And these few bad eggs create a negative wave that basically covers all these good deeds, these hardworking police officers and the reputable services that they do. And we need to appreciate them as much as we protest against the corrupt. We must start at the foundation, that is our judgment. We must square up and exercise respect and humanity. Recognize them of the honor that they honor them on the respect on the duties that they do. And we have to have a mindful way of thinking when it comes to our police, supporting our police, on not saying to these solutions, I will, but I do. Cut.
Okay.